What's up, guys? I'm here with Eric.
Hi.
I just told Eric we're making a video. Sorry.
It's okay.
Eric has an identical store to my eBay dropshipping store. It's the same thing, the only difference is the size, right? We no longer live together, but we used to before I went to Nicaragua, whereas now I live in Wheeling, right? And Eric lives in Reston. And he's one of the other people that are part of Systematical, which is the software that we're working on for eBay Vero kind of stuff, right? So that's just some frame of reference, okay? But I want to do two things in this video. One is talk to you guys about, we're looking for a virtual assistant to do the customer service kind of side of the bulk work. So this is the same whether you're doing optimization or bulk or whatever you're doing. The customer service end of it on eBay is pretty standard, right? So in specific, what you will be doing if you are somebody who's interested in this is you will be responding to customer messages and coordinating with Eric, and he is sometimes going to be sending messages out, and you're going to be the one who responds. There will be certain scenarios that you will be shown how to respond using as few words as possible. You can use existing templates, but you don't have to. You know, it's important that you kind of use your head. And then you're going to handle all of those, and if it's not one of those typical scenarios, then you flag the message, right? And then Eric goes through and deals with that. You will need to have a WhatsApp contact number to stay in communication because it's going to be important to communicate on a regular basis, right? And yeah, so if you're interested in that, send Eric an email. What's your email address? Or they need contact info for you.
Yeah, let's do, I'll write it in the video, but it'll most likely be, my personal email, eric.remigino@gmail.com.
Okay, that's ERIC.REM.
As in Mary. IG.
IG.
I.
I.
And as Nancy.
N O. I got the O. Yeah.
Remigino. We'll put it in the video then.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, sorry. Well, it's there now. If it makes you feel better, my email and everything's on every single video. There's like thousands of videos. And, you know, I don't get crammed with this, but the point's that people need to be able to contact you directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, now we're done with that, and you guys know that we're looking for a virtual assistant. You can reach out for us, that kind of thing. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing with eBay. So, I've been participating in this mastermind group that's been really, really beneficial, honestly. It has really, really helped ground me. And it's cool because all the other people in the group are physical eBay sellers, not drop shippers, right? And so it's this different perspective, and it's just like, I'm really benefiting from it. It's once a week, every Friday. So they've been talking a lot about what they're going through and doing, right? And one of the things that has been coming up is the concept of replenishables. And this is something that I did a little bit back in the past when I used to sell things physically on eBay. Oh yeah, guys, I'm trying to physically sell stuff on eBay again. Not like big scale stuff, but like when I go to the store and I see a bunch of one item, I'm trying to learn how I can just pick stuff up on my travels that I know I can resell, whether it's slowly or quickly or whatever, right? I don't have much experience with that, so that's something that I want to become more actively involved in because it's something that, to a certain point, I enjoy doing, right? I don't want to do it all the time, but if I have an hour of this a day, an hour of that, hour of something else, I can work all day and be really happy. So that's what I'm focusing on. That being said, we're working on this thing called replenishables, okay? And replenishables are just another way of thinking of a good till canceled listing, but it's interesting because you have to think of it from the non-dropshipping perspective. So this is all stuff you have to buy, and then you sell it. You buy it first, right? So in this case, what I'm trying to learn is how I can take advantage of the Walmart clearance aisles, right? Because I often go to Walmart as part of like getting groceries and that kind of thing with my roommates and all that kind of stuff. So I'm already going to the location, and I have learned that every Friday the Walmart that I'm at puts things out at a certain time, and there's all these bins and you can get clearance stuff. And so I go through the bins and I think about a couple factors. One is that it should be cheap for me. Like, it's got to be less than $5 unless I think it's really great. So I look for things that started at like $20 or $15 and then got marked down multiple times, so you can see the markdown stickers, right? I look for things that can ship in a first-class package, so they're not heavy, light things. I already bought like thousands of envelopes like years ago, so I still have all of that stuff. Also, looking for things that are familiar to me, because I have a sense of what Walmart sells, because I've sold thousands of their products and I've listed hundreds of thousands of their products. So I have a sense of what they have available and kind of a sense of what people buy on eBay that are sourced from Walmart. That isn't the same as what people from Walmart buy, right? But remember, I'm buying this stuff from Walmart and then selling it to the market I'm used to, which is eBay. So it's still relevant, right? And I can use all of this experience to kind of quickly gauge whether something's like has the potential to be interesting, right? It just gives me kind of a starting point. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went and I dropped like $100 or $200 actually on a bunch of different things. And I was just trying to focus on, okay, first class package cost me less than $5 and I try and sell it for 15, right? Or at least that was theoretically what I was going to do. But then I wanted to experiment with auctions, right? So I posted everything at auctions and like none of it's, I mean, some of like a quarter of it sold, and then it was all for like just cost of shipping. So on the items that sold that way, I lost money. And luckily, only a small portion of them actually sold that way, so it didn't end up mattering, because now I'm reposting the listings and doing good till canceled listings and all that kind of stuff. But again, I was experimenting a lot, and so that's how I established this, like, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have a whole bunch of inventory that's not selling. I don't want to be making a whole bunch of listings, right? So this time, I bought 27 different units, but all of these units can be put into 2 or 3 listings, depending if I want to do, like, variation stuff, right? So just as an example, you can see here, so that was originally like $13, and then marked down to 9, and then marked down to 3, right? So everything here was like all of these were like $3 a piece, and then all of this stuff, which is all like beauty products that are tanning and sun lotion and that kind of thing. All of these were $14 originally, supposedly, says the Walmart sticker on them, and then they were all marked down to $4. So that was kind of pricey. But I'm really, really trying to make sure that I'm doing more things that make me a little bit nervous. Like, not super nervous, but sometimes when you change things and test things, it's really easy to change not enough for it to make a noticeable effect, right? And a good example of this is in promoted listings. Like, before I would always do like 1 or 2%, right? And now I'm working with 10%, and it is nerve-wracking, but I understand now, okay, I have to expose myself to overdoing a bit so I can understand and really develop this sense of like where's the balance, where's the right spot, right? In some senses, you have to experience one extreme, then the other, before you can find the middle ground, which is always the most efficient place to be, right? So that's what we're doing. Well, and I say we, and this is just me at the moment. I got all of these items, and these are not going to be auctions. That's what we learned first iteration, no more auctions. And they're going to be only a few listings, because the idea is to create those listings that are just kind of selling themselves over and over again, right? So one thing I've been thinking about is there's got to be ways for me to leverage the fact that I have this huge store. Considering I want to sell physical things. Like, I don't think it's okay for me to just look at my store and then find a well-performing listing and then just revise it to be this item, right? I don't think you can do that directly, because as far as I understand, that's not something eBay likes, right? But a smaller version of that, something within limits, right, that wouldn't get me in trouble, that takes advantage of the size of my store. Like, there's a couple different things I could do. Like, you can get these cross-selling galleries that sell products, that put images of all your other products in your listing, right? So if you do that, then you can pick the products that you want. So I could theoretically treat all of my other listings, all 90,000 of them, right, as ads for these physical items, right, by just putting pictures and links to these in the tops of all of those listings, which would theoretically drive sales to those specific items. And that is harder to do when you're drop shipping the items, but since I'm getting the items pretty cheap, it's easier for me to sell them at a more competitive rate and still actually earn money, right? At least in my understanding, because I'm used to drop shipping. And that's the thing with pricing, is that it's all about what you're used to. Like, if you're used to having really small sales, like $7 or $8 sales, then that is the metric that you're used to. So I'm getting a little bit off track here, but my point is just kind of think about that, okay? Because where you're coming from kind of dictates what you're able to see. And one of the keys to opportunity is being able to see things in a way that other people can't, right? To kind of see through how other people immediately perceive something, because typically common opinion is going to be wrong. It's just kind of general rules to live by, though, right? So I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm physically selling stuff on eBay. Eric's looking for a VA. Yep. All right, guys. See you next time. Ciao. You gonna say bye, Eric?
Ciao.
Yeah.